You have got to be watching because today is the NVIDIA stock earnings day today, which means that my NVIDIA stock price prediction starts to play out. We're going to have to see how those numbers are in the after hours today. It is the market catalyst that the entire market is watching. And we actually have some intraday charts. I will show them to you along with the NVIDIA chart and some others that are out there that I think are absolutely worth watching during this time that provide evidence of just how big today is. Is AI stock or RAI stock still the hot thing? Is there some momentum left to go? We're going to find out in the after hours. Look at these charts. So starting off with SPY. So right here, looking at the 1 hour chart that we have, you can see where we found the top of this, where the resistance came in at about 563, got rejected, didn't quite make it there. So we have that flat top to it. And then along the bottom of this, we actually have a bit of, there we go, trendiness to it. If we put that line on there that way, that even the SPY is currently looking for that upward pressure to break through that roof. I think NVIDIA earnings can help it out. More impactful from NVIDIA would be what we have for QQQ. And you can see the fact that it didn't hold up those prices, it's sweating a little bit too. We're actually riding right along support. We keep bouncing off of it, although more in a trend line sense. We have the tops here, which are actually pressing down along this, that are just kind of setting up for that middle ground play. Where exactly does the price action go from here? We're going to find out. Today's such a huge catalyst. Tomorrow we have a GDP, and then the day after that we have personal income and outlays, which include the personal consumption expenditures, personal spending, and personal income. Like, that's 3 big days in a row. So really expect anything from these markets based on those reports. So for the Qs, I guarantee you it is waiting with bated breath for NVIDIA stock and its earnings to find out what exactly is going on and how it should think about the market moving forward from here. We'll talk about NVIDIA specifically in a moment. So when we see IWM, check out the ride along this trend line. You can actually see the dance that we've made along it recently. So bringing up the 1 hour chart to really focus, on the current price action that you have, you can see that we're heading towards some sort of breakout moment with what we have here. Moving along that resistance that we're really putting that pressure on, we have a lot of resistance to the upside. We have some support to the downside, some critical support down here at about 213. And momentum's okay. It's actually on an hourly basis down in bearish territory. I believe on a daily basis that we're still up in bullish territory. We are. Same thing for weekly. And let's actually go out to monthly just real quick, just to take a peek at the RSI. So weekly, monthly, you name it. For what we have for the longer term trends for IWM for the Russell 2000 stocks, we are absolutely still looking bullish for those areas. We have to see if we get that push up from here. GDP and also PCE are going to be the 2 big helpers. Not that NVIDIA is going to hurt it. So NVIDIA is going to have its influence as well. So we'll see which way NVIDIA pushes us. I am leaning towards the bullish side on NVIDIA earnings. I think that they still have a couple quarters to impress. We're going to find out how Blackwell does. This is going to be one of the big test quarters that we have, and makes it a little bit more of a coin flip than we had for the previous quarters. But still bullish overall, still on NVIDIA. So with that said, let's move over here. Check out NVIDIA. Sweating out those earnings coming along. Can't break out of this range that it's been in with this area of resistance that I had on here for a while now. Searching for the floor. It seems to have found it. Searching for the ceiling. Looks like it found it. And we like going into earnings so far. So far, we're right in the middle of this. I said for this anywhere between 120 and 133. And as of the pre-market right now, we're at about 128. So it looks like that's about what it's going to give us. This could be the push. These earnings could push us up to new all-time high or retesting the new all-time highs. It could also be the thing that has us looking for where exactly that floor is and trying to recalculate and replan. And there's going to be an adjustment period for sure in either direction to follow for whatever we get for the NVIDIA earnings. So putting the chart back up here, I believe the expectation from the experts is coming in about 64 cents. In my conservative estimate that I put out there, we can actually look, okay, 65 cents. They've actually moved it up, which is actually a good thing for it to shift up a penny like that. Revisions are also usually a good thing. You can actually see the curving off of those expectations, so that it could be an expected slowdown for that earnings growth, which I think is reasonable given the growth that they had. But we don't want to see margin compression. We want to see the margins stay strong, and whatever guidance they give for that margin to also stay strong. During the last earnings call, they talked about their end of year guidance. If we get an increase to that end of year guidance, that's a good thing. Increase to margins, good thing. increase to revenue, good thing. If revenue starts to stagnate and they're able to hold their margins, that's not necessarily great. If the revenue is able to go strong, but their margins start to get infringed on, that affects their future growth rates. You're going to see it happen in the stock. So we need to hear that there's a lot of strength going. We need to hear the excitement in the earnings call. If there's any sniff of hesitation for the future for NVIDIA, the market's going to find it, and the market's going to punish NVIDIA stock for it. Just to be clear about that. However, listen to the overall tone. Listen to what they have to say. If it's still celebration and champagne corks popping all over the office for NVIDIA, well, then you know that it's most likely going to be received well by the markets as well, and it's going to be very good for the stock. So that's the coin flip that we find ourselves in, is now it gets into that black box period for what exactly we can see from here. So if you guys haven't watched my video on my NVIDIA stock price prediction, you can go back to my channel. So click on my name, click on view channel, and then find videos. Look for the thumbnail that says trillions on it with my NVIDIA stock price prediction. It's about 30 minutes long. It's dense, but it's got a lot of good information. Now, based on the information in that video, I gave a 12-month low price target and a 12-month high price target, 155 to 170. That doesn't mean that immediately off of earnings that we would skyrocket off of that. But I do believe that NVIDIA is going to keep showing its strength through 2025. We'll find out whether or not that's true very soon. Just to wrap things up with a few ideas here, Bitcoin, I adjusted some price targets on here. Given the drop that we had through support, you can see the trend line I had on here. Look what happened as soon as we broke through that trend line. If we get rejected again off that trend line, we can have, pardon me, we can have a much further sell off of that value. I'm going to take a quick sip of coffee. I'm going to enjoy the morning. Oh, that was delicious. All right, so over to my friend Tesla. For Tesla, I had to move down my support and resistance. You can see this blue dotted line that we have here played out very well as a technical support. Same thing for this red dotted line that's in here. And then in the pre-market hours, we also happen to have some orangey line here because in the pre-market hours, we're right around that value as well. If we fall through support, we have the 200-day that's likely going to catch us at 204. Another critical support right at 199. So putting us like 204, 199 would be that range. You can see I have that price target out there for you. If we're able to break up above resistance at about 218, so that's about where we'll find that cap to that. Plus we have this trend line resist as well. Please keep an eye on that as well. That's going to be a big one for us. It's played out really, really consistently since the recent run that we've had. So that's about where we find ourselves. So momentum is still right around 50 as we look at this on a daily basis. 218 is that resistance to find. Up above that, we could find ourselves room up to 225. So those are the two directions that we could find ourselves on Tesla. Guys, if you like my commentary, if you would like to support my channel, if you'd like to see my buys and sells, talk to me and my community members, there's a link for the Patreon down in the description. Click that, sign on up, hop over to the Discord, and check all that stuff out. If you guys want to learn to do technical analysis like I do and really empower your trading through technical analysis, you can find the link for that course down in the description. It's through Stockmo Academy. It uses the bread recipe, which is a clean, easy strategy that can indicate to you where potential good entry points, exit points are. And then I also have a chapter in there on options as well. That course has small, easy, digestible pieces, and it also walks you through step by step on how to set up all the indicators that you need for it. And there's only a couple of them, but I'll tell you what really is powerful for identifying when stocks are starting their movements and when they could make those really big potential movements that could give those outsized gains to you. Guys, thank you very much for watching. I am Dr. Stock, Doctor of Education. Remember my friends that learning is earning, and we'll see you in the next video.